We have a market garden here on our farm, and our goal is to be a high production farm.
Yes, it is.
In order to be able to utilize the entire season, we have to start our seeds now. With the temperatures being the way that they are, fluctuating up and down, I thought it would be a great idea to start our seeds indoors versus our greenhouse. Now, our greenhouse is heated. We have a heated solution in there that we haven't talked about.
Yep.
But it is propane, and with the price of gas, it's smarter to utilize the heat inside the house versus utilizing that heat inside the greenhouse. So I'm being a little efficient with my money.
I would say he's being cheap.
Efficient. But Pensatona Phil, or whatever his name is, said we had 6 more weeks of winter. You know what? Now,
so this greenhouse he found that we're gonna use indoors. You actually he got a pretty good deal on it. I will say that.
I actually paid like $25.
Yep.
And it came with a rebate. I was looking at it was the same one they had on Amazon, which was like $55. So for 50% less, I got the same thing. So make sure you guys are checking out your local facilities before you hop in on Amazon.
Oh, buy local plug.
Yes, especially if it's Mad Acre Farm local. Just saying, CSA.
Ooh, community supported agriculture, folks. More to come on that.
Yes. So let's show you the greenhouse real quick to set up there, and then we'll show you what seeds that we're going to be planting this year. We're going
to do succession planting as well.
Yes, and then we also are going to be growing enough seeds, I should say enough plants to do some plant sales, hopefully.
Yep.
So if anybody's looking for plants, tomato plants, pepper plants, check out our website. We will be having some up soon.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into this greenhouse.
Absolutely.
We have our little greenhouse here. It's roughly 4 foot tall. It's going to allow us the ability to be able to get in, should be able to get 8 of these in, especially if we go this way. Now, what's nice about this, we have 5 racks here. And then also we have the ability to control our climate by closing and zipping this up. That's going to hold moisture in. We purchased these Barina grow lights from a friend here. So we have these, we have a total of 6 lights in here. That's going to help provide light, the efficient amount of light to our plants. Now, something that we're going to be doing different here that we didn't do last year is we're just going to go right into direct sowing our seeds in 2-inch pots. Last year we did the smaller trays and smaller cells, and we didn't have the ability to up pot them, so we had a lot of plants that growth stunted or they got really leggy. So to prevent that from happening this year, we're just going to plant them in a bigger pot right away, and then that'll give us ability and give us time if we need to up pot them to have the opportunity to up pot them. As you guys may know, we do both still work full-time jobs, and our farming is just our passion. It's something that we do on the side.
All right, so let me just share with you some of the things that we're going to be starting indoors because they take longer to reach maturity. We are going to obviously do some direct sow, like our radishes, our lettuce. We're going to do a direct sow as well, just because those are high rotational crops and we can continue to plant them, and they give us a quick turnaround. Tomatoes and peppers are going to be the ones that we're going to start indoors, so let me show you what we're going to do. Okay, so we actually ordered a lot of our seeds from Baker Creek this year, and so with our tomatoes, typically we're going to want to plant them 6 to 10 weeks indoors before our last frost date. So in Iowa, we are zone 5A. Our last frost date, now give or take a couple weeks in between, but usually May 16th to 2 weeks after. It just depends. So we'll kind of play that by ear. But we're going to do a variety of cherry tomatoes. Okay, so we've got our candy cherries, we've got black cherry, we've got yellow gooseberry, the yellow pear, which was one of my favorites. I used to eat these right off the vine. They're amazing. We're also doing the red cherry. So the purpose behind this is that we're going to build a variety pack with our cherry tomatoes that we can sell at our local market and in our CSA box. And if you're not sure what a CSA is, head over to our website. We explain it all on our website, but it stands for Community Supported Agriculture. If you're not from the Iowa area, I would definitely recommend looking in your area to see if you can support local farmers and their CSA mission. All right, so our next variety is going to be our slicers, which we're gonna go with the classic beefsteak slicer. And then we're also gonna try something a little bit different this year and go with Dad Sunset. So this will be interesting because we haven't done this one before. So I'm hoping that this might be a hit at the farmer's market. It also adds some color into our CSA box, which is gonna be actually pretty cool. So our next variety is going to be an Amish paste. And this one is going to be more so for your sauce tomatoes. And I did forget to mention that this year, in order to save space, last year was a little bit of a disaster with our tomatoes. If you guys were following us last year, you'll know that they were a little all over the place. So we are going to do a vertical type trellis this year, which I'm super excited for because we're going to be very diligent about pruning our tomatoes. And I think we'll get higher production from them. Cucumbers were actually a really great seller last year for us, our slicers, and we had a request on a few more variety types. So we're actually going to start a few varieties indoor for our cucumber. So we're gonna do the market more. We're also gonna do the Armenian yard-long cucumber as well. So typically these take about 60 days to reach maturity. So that will give us ample time to make sure that we have enough to harvest for our CSA boxes. We're actually going to be planting burgundy okra this year as well, and this is about 60 to 70 days until it reaches maturity. So we're going to start it indoors, the same concept. And our okra last year did not do as well as we hoped it would. However, we didn't plant it next to a really good companion crop per se. We actually planted it right next to our tomatoes, and it ended up choking out a lot of the okra. So this year we will not be making that same mistake, and we will make sure that we have the appropriate companion crop next to the okra. All right, and our next seed that we're going to plant indoors, because it's roughly about 8 to 12 weeks that we want to start it here for our season before the last frost date, and they're going to be our pepper variety. So we're going to actually do quite a few different pepper varieties and hot and mild peppers. So the first one, we're going to do a Trinidad Scorpion, which this actually reaches pretty high on the hot scale. So I'm interested to see how this one does. I'm actually interested to see how it does at our market. I don't think this will be one that we'll put in a CSA box unless it's requested. So the next one we're actually going to do is a NADAPENO. And so with this one is, it's got the sweetness of a jalapeno, it just doesn't have the heat. This was actually pretty popular at our farmer's market last year. We also, we didn't want the food to go to waste, and we found a local restaurant that purchased the peppers that we had left over, and they actually went very well at the restaurant. So it was actually a win-win for us. We actually bartered that because when we would go after the market, we would take our jalapenos over there and they would make us burritos and we would give them our jalapenos. So it worked out. But yeah, that was fun. But these will be good ones for our CSA box if folks want to enjoy a salsa type mix. The next one actually is another one with quite a bit of heat. It's the Jay's Peach. And this one again is not something I think we'll include in our CSA box unless it is requested, maybe for a salsa or so forth, but we'll definitely sell them at our markets. The next one we also have is a Chinese 5 color. Now this one, I think that there is a little bit of heat in the Chinese 5 color, and it's also, it's pretty, right? You get a different variety of color with these peppers. So we haven't grown this one before. I'm interested to see what happens with them. I'm also interested to see how it sells at the market. The next one is a variety of bell peppers. So we have the California Wonder, and we did 2 rows of these peppers last year, and they actually did amazing. The peppers, we sold quite a few at the market, and then we also were able to barter for free burritos at the local restaurant because we took these there too as well. And then here's another variety that we're going to be doing for the bell pepper. And this, again, these peppers are typically, we need to start them indoors 8 to 12 weeks before our last frost date, which again is like mid to end May. So the idea behind it is that we're going to start them indoors, get a jump on the season, and really start getting production here for our market. These of course are not going to be one of our high rotational crops. High rotational crop for us is going to be more like our leafy greens. So the idea behind the high rotation is that we were able to harvest them right away, and then of course drop another seed in its place and continue to rotate that crop itself and bring in the income from that crop from our CSA market and our farmers market.
Alright guys, so we're all finished up. We planted a total of 120 plants. Hopefully all these guys will be germinated and ready to go by the end of our last frost, which is May. Around May 16th, after Mother's Day usually. We'll plant these around Memorial Day weekend. We did a total of 7 of some, 8 of other. Yeah. What we did was what we thought would sell the most. We planted the most plants of. This will be our first succession, then we'll do a second succession in April. That way when by the time those plants in April are ready to go, the ones that are done fruiting, we can pull those out and then do a second succession of those. Hopefully you like what you see here. If you do, smash that like button. Make sure you tell 1 million friends or 2. Subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.